because there we go. Okay, so thank you again for coming to, maybe this is your first AI webinar with me, or you've been here through many with me. But today we're going to talk about Khanmigo. Um, and just to share a little bit about my background on all of this is I know that there are so many tools that just keep popping up. And you as educators often don't have time to sit down and kind of look. And it's kind of nice just to have a quick overview so that you can pick one that best meets your needs. So maybe this will be one for you. My name is Karen Leonard, and I'm the program manager for education technology and micro-credentials at the State Department of Education. The best way for you to reach out to me is by email. I love to respond to email, brainstorm. You have a question, I will get back with you very quickly. Our phones, I mean, you're all welcome to leave me a message, but it's just faster if I can talk to you via email. Tonight, we're going to focus on Khanmigo, but we're also going to, as I always do, just kind of explain AI and its role in education, because so many times you are, even attending one session, often considered like the expert in your district or your building. This is such a new thing. And just want to make sure that you have all the backgrounds. You can kind of explain it to parents and other coworkers that have questions. So we're going to learn basic information about AI. We're going to understand how Khanmigo can support teachers and students and discover how to use Khanmigo. As always, I do like to share our State of Oklahoma's AI guidance. I have had several people that have reached out to me that would like to be on a revision team for this guidance document. And I know that my first priority was getting through all of these webinars. I only have one left after tonight, and then I will be focusing more on revising guidance. So if that's something that you would be interested in, please email me. This document, we were the 11th state in the United States to publish information. It's great. Many, I think, really easy, applicable definitions and uses of AI. Okay, so what is AI? Still to this day, I talk with many people that are either confused or have negative connotations of AI, and I completely understand negative connotations because I'm reading books, you're watching movies, and you're hearing about some of the scary things related to technology and AI. But we're going to focus more on the positives, and I'm going to define AI for you as computers and machines doing the activities that typically require human intelligence. It's based upon a data set. Each AI tool has to be trained on that data set, and it just becomes more refined as it goes. The more information it has, the better or more knowledge and information it has. It can create things. The specific type of AI that I'm talking about tonight is generative AI. And that's great because it really can create things for us, and it can complete tasks for us and help us save a lot of time. It does learn and improve with practice, and the AI we have today is the least intelligent AI we will ever have. I say that all the time, and it still just kind of gives me chills because we can't understand that it's just continuing to grow. It does study human language and knows how to interact with us. We do not have to write code or anything or have any of that computer science background necessarily to use AI. And it's been around for a long time. Even back in 1950s, our government was using AI we know that it came out in November of 2022, especially in the realm of education that really caused a lot of stress and anxiety. And it's becoming better every day. Whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not, we interact with AI tools all the time. Waze is my go-to for getting around anywhere, cities, countries. My phone has AI built into it. I'm not going to say the other one here because I have one sitting right beside me, and if I say its name, it's going to start talking to me. Even Netflix and Amazon all has AI built in, and it's going to like build that understanding of who we are and try to just make life a little easier for us. But here's what I hope that we all understand as educators: our world needs humans. Okay. Whether it's AI or technology, what I always say is we only need to use technology and or AI if it can enhance and extend education with our students and for our students. All of us went into the field of education, I'm sure, because we love to interact with others. We have that nurturing, caring kind of personality where we just want to help. And AI, although it might seem relatively personal at times, it's not going to build those relationships and encourage human communication and collaboration. So we need to be in our roles, and we can help our students learn to use AI. Okay, so I've just been selecting some commonly talked about AI tools, and tonight I'm going to talk about Khanmigo. Khanmigo. If you've been even anywhere in the world of technology over the past few years, Khan Academy is a tool that many of our students use. I've used it myself to help me learn new concepts and ideas. And as an educator, I encourage that, even with my own children, because sometimes another educator or Khan Academy could explain something that made that concept click with my students or my children. So Sal Khan, in his wonderful pursuit to help educators, created Khanmigo, and it is an AI-powered teaching and tutoring assistant. And it's designed to support educators and students by providing personalized feedback, helping with lesson planning, assisting with grading, and offering real-time feedback. And what I would say is for Khanmigo, I would probably consider it like a co-teacher for an educator. Great to bounce ideas off of. It really can streamline tasks. It can enhance student engagement, and it personalizes learning. And let's see what it can do. I do like to ensure that when I'm sharing tools, I'm also letting you know that although I am not saying this is the tool for you and this is the tool your district should accept, I'm sharing ideas and providing pathways that you can vet tools yourself. Whenever you're using any tools with students, your IT department does need to be involved in that. They're the ones who have their jobs on the line to ensure that student digital identifiable information is safe and secure. But I also think it is the role of the educator, if you're going to use the tool, to do some investigating yourself. And one of the places I really like to go to find out about AI tools and many things ed tech is Common Sense Media. And what I like about Common Sense Media is educators are the ones doing the reviewing of these tools. So I went to Common Sense Media and looked at their product review for Khanmigo. It did have a low overall risk. It was designed for all students. And here's when I dug down into it, I really appreciated this. It showed me various levels of their assessment on that tool. And if I were to, this is just an image here, but I could click and drill down into each of these to determine what that rating was based upon. So some of the big risks before we go back, let's talk about that. We know that when I'm sharing these tools with you tonight, I'm really more focused on educator use. Although there is a new facet of this tool that is really exciting. And whenever I'm talking student use of AI, again, we have to drill down into the privacy policies and terms of service. There is a great facet of this that might be good to use with middle and upper or high school students. But as always, we have to ensure that our students are using it appropriately at the correct age. Okay, so Khanmigo tools. I like the fact that I know we've explored some other tools. If you've been with me, we've talked about Magic School AI and we've talked about Brisk. And again, Khanmigo is kind of very similar in its format. It's easy to use. I think that it's easy to follow. And let's really look at this. I like that it's color coded, so it allows me to have a little bit of understanding on some of the different uses. So yes, it can help us plan, it can help us create, it can help us differentiate, which is a big winner for me, and provide support and learn. So some of the things that I like, let's see if I can go back there. I identified some of these that I really liked. What I do appreciate is, like some of the other tools, if there's a tool that I really like, I can click on that star and make it a favorite. So I don't have to scroll through all of these. Some of the ones that I'm going to highlight before I actually dig in are clear directions. I love this. Many times we may think we're providing very clear and explicit directions for our learners, but this is great. Maybe you have a student that's confused on an activity or an assignment, and you just want to provide them with another set of instructions. I don't understand what we're supposed to do. This tool was so amazing in terms of me just putting an activity in here, creating a story map, and it was able to create step-by-step instructions, and I can go back in and I can edit them and personalize them because just because this tool says that's good directions, I have the ability to work on that on my own. Another tool that I really found exciting was the fact that you can chunk text. So basically, that's great because I actually used a terms of service because we know that looking at those can be overwhelming. So I was able to copy and paste that in, and it kind of chunked it into easier understandable groups of phrases and information. So where I'm really thinking about this is maybe you have learners, both of my daughters and my husband are dyslexic. You give them an entire sheet of just paragraph after paragraph. They're not really able to break it down and put it into understandable chunks. It's been a challenge for them. And being able to use something like this chunk text tool would have been great. Another thing that I really like is up here at the top, anything that Khanmigo creates, it will actually save into a My Documents section. So I don't have to recreate it over and over. It's there, and I'll show you that in just a couple seconds. And here are some of the things that are already in my documents. I've got my Block It terms of service chunked. I've got my story map adventure directions chunked, so I don't have to look all over. So now I am going to jump out and log into Khanmigo. If I could spell it correctly, that would be great. Another thing that I really appreciate about this is Khanmigo is free for educators. Okay, so that's always very appreciated, and they claimed that it will remain free. So I can sign up for free. I'm going in here. I've actually already logged in, and I'm going to log in with my personal account here, and I've got some great information going on, except all the cookies. Okay, so I've already started using that. Like I said, the homepage has all of these tools built right in. I can have a chat with GPT, report card comments, recommend assignments. Now, all of these tools just require prompt writing. You could do this without Khanmigo or Magic School AI. It just takes a little bit more creativity and work on your end as an educator. So I really like the fact that this is here. Look at that, refresh my knowledge. It can help me learn. And I really appreciate this when, think of the number of emergency certified teachers we have. Or many times, I remember when I was first teaching that I was transferred into a music classroom, and I wasn't really firm with the logistics of teaching music and teaching music theory. So if I would have had something like this to go in and help me relearn or learn the content area, what a great tool for educators. And look, it'll turn on Khanmigo voice and it will talk to me. And I can turn on speech recognition. And again, just having a conversation back and forth. So like I said, I could favorite my tools here. I did say that if I look here, all of my documents, I was doing some different ones in here. I'm going to really talk about some of these in a little more detail, but I'm going back to tools first. I also, if I go up here to, resources, there we go. There are resources that will support your students already built in that can talk about goal setting. It might be too late in the year for you to consider that, although maybe you're really helping those students focus on how they can finish strong. Student action plans, student printables, all of this is already created in here. Choice boards, punch cards. I love any tool that has many different facets already put together so that I don't have to go a lot of different places to find information. Also, another thing is, I am not sure how many of you are Canvas users, but I'm going to go into one of my Canvas courses and let's see. If your school district has set this up, you can see integrations. Oh, feature options. Nope. I had this all set up earlier. I can. Oh, I know where it is. Okay, here we go. Navigation. Gosh, sometimes I can add Khanmigo teacher tools within Canvas. And if you notice, I'm not sure how deep some of you actually use Canvas, but if you notice, these are the things that learners can see, but Khanmigo is still there, but our learners can't use it. But look, I can, oh, got more in here. So I'm going to go back. I have to save that. It's going to populate over here. So maybe I'm in something and look right here without going to another site. I have everything I need to use or want to use already built in to Canvas. So maybe I want to create an exit ticket. It's going to be 6th grade, and let's say earthquakes. I'm not sure. I'm not a science person, so I'm not sure if that's in that. So I can create an exit ticket here. Okay, imagine you're a news reporter, write down the facts you've learned. We do know that as any AI tools can make mistakes, but look, I can export that into a Word doc or a Google Doc and save it to Google Drive, save it to Google Forms, and then I can publish that within my Canvas course. So again, I love the fact that that's already built in, and as a Canvas user, I don't have to travel all over to use these tools. It also integrates with a tool named Blockit. And let's see if I can pull that one up here. This was not a tool that I was familiar with. I'm not sure if many of you are yet. I know that I've used quizzes and I've used Kahoot. Blockit is kind of like that, but it's already integrated. So if you go into Blockit and log in, you will be able to have the integration of using that. And the great thing is it will also save into your documents. And I love that. I know I've got a couple questions in the chat box, so I'm going to look at that real quick before I go on. I do know that if you are an OPSRC school district, there is not only Khanmigo is associated with Khan Academy. Khan Academy has both a free and a paid version, and OPSRC has some discount on student pricing for that. And Blockit is something that some of you use for test reviews. So there's always so many new tools that come out each time, daily. Okay, this is probably, I was excited about Khanmigo, but when I saw this new tool that came out maybe only a month ago, I was super excited, and it's called Writing Coach. And you can see you will have access to these slides. I will email everyone tomorrow. But it shows that when you're in Khanmigo, and we would go to Teacher Tools, if I go down to Writing Coach, and I'm going to go back into my Khanmigo account, this is probably one of the most impactful facets of this. This is designed, I believe it's designed for middle and high school only right now, but I can create a new assignment. So I actually have this information. I'm going to cheat and use their information. So I'm going to create a curfew for teenagers persuasive essay. And the great thing is it fixes all of your spelling. I have the option to select, do I want it to be a full essay writing process where it guides students through outlining and drafting, which is a time saver for you. You still need to be involved, but it provides that one-on-one feedback and guidance for learners quickly. Or maybe I just want overall essay feedback. I'm going to go for 10th grade and an essay type. Well, I said I was going to do persuasive. I'm going to say I want it to be no less than 250 words. And I'm going to say, should parents impose curfews? Why or why not? Share ideas for both sides. And I can go on. Okay, here's where it gets exciting. I have to create a class. I just named mine test. And I create an assignment. Okay, so students could use that link to join my assignment, or I am going to say, I'm going back to my Writing Coach activities. I'm going to exit this here. And these three dots right here will allow me to share it with students. Oh, well, that wasn't it. It was There's a join code. And once again, I did practice all of this earlier today. It is, can add students. There we go, a join code. So as a learner, I'm going to copy this and open this in a new window. And as a learner, they do need to create an account, but all it's going to ask for is month and year of birth, because they want to validate your students are of age. And it does ask for them to create their own username and password. So then once they've done that and they have their join code here, oops, it was, why is that not going in? It's telling me I don't have enough. And I think there's some people in the chat box that are trying to join the class. Okay. Now, as a student, I would see begin the assignment. And this is where I think that this is really interesting. So in this case, I wanted it to give me complete feedback. Students can copy and paste their information in here. Again, all the information that I put in the assignment and title and explanation is right there again for them to visibly see all the time. I'm going to go back here though, and let's see. I'm going to change this assignment. Instead of doing the, if you go and do the individual feedback, there is this communication. It's like, it's a chat bot walking students through the process. Okay, here's your information. Let's talk about some basic ideas. Let's put this into outline form. Now let's expand upon this, and it can help pace your students step by step through the writing process. And as an educator, I could go in and I could see where my students are in terms of the process. And I think that that is such a powerful, powerful tool. And again, I know we've got a lot of people that have been chatting, and I'm not finding writing coach. Wasn't able to hear the full, okay. When you go to, again, back here, if I'm in Khanmigo, I'm just gonna actually, not Khan Academy, home, Khanmigo tools. If I look here and I go to writing coach, it should be free for everyone. And again, everything that I have is right there stored. And I am able to copy it if I want to share it with different class sections. And my essays are all right here. Here was an AP Comp and Lit essay where the first step is understanding the assignment. So here is student view on outlining. It's going to talk me through the process of the essay, explain the essay type, what are the requirements? And again, it's going back over here and reviewing my teacher instructions and maybe replaying that or rewording it in a word that our students can understand. Another set of eyes, another set of directions. And if you see, it's going to walk them through the entire process. So I can start outlining. And like I said, I can go in and see where my students are. And to me, that's pretty powerful. Again, it does give them that feedback. I like brisk teaching because it gives them glows and grows and feedback. But I just thought that this was just another way, and teachers can see how their students are going through the essay process and where they get stuck. And, then that's when you go and you can be that other person. You can talk to them and walk them through it. Like I said, sample essays, joining with the class code, and the student view. Within not only the educator view, but the student view, there are those accessibility options like I said, for students, where they can have the information read to them. They even have some power to select from 3 different Khanmigo voices. And so if I'm a student, I'm down here in the corner and it's going to be able to read to me. And if I were to have screenshot this a little more, it's also going to have the microphone. So maybe we have those learners that need to dictate their writing. And like I said, as a parent of 2 children with dyslexia, boy, if they would have had the ability to auto text, it would have been a game changer in many of their classes. So how to navigate. I kind of mentioned this before. Again, when you go into Khanmigo, there's different activities. You've got your learner activities, your teacher tools, where all of your information is stored, and the writing coach. For learner activities, because that was the first one that was mentioned here, it does give you some activities for students and for you that can go through. Maybe you need tutoring with math and science, or help me with humanities. And if you've played with Khan Academy at all, I use the word play, I think it's just a great way that maybe your parents are able to provide support to learners in the evening, even with the free version. Within this platform, in addition to the teacher tools, I want you to notice the tab resources right there. If you notice, in addition to the printables and my documents, there are also opportunities for professional learning. When I was on their site today, you can watch I think it's a 6.5-minute video that walks you through the intricacies of the writing coach. There is so much more in here that they provide all support, guidance, and I think that any tool like that's really, really good when they're thinking that they need to help support the learners. So some ways that you can get started. First of all, this is kind of exploring that even if you just go to Khan Academy, if you have not looked at that at all, you can browse by standards, by content area. And if you notice up here, I've got my Khanmigo options, so I could swap back and forth between the two. Another thing is, if you're on the home page and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a blue bar across the bottom and it says Khan for Educators. And right there, it will help you learn how to use Khan Academy even as an educator. And it does kind of do some of the gamifications, mastery points, and they do have a facet of that specific for US educators. So when you're exploring these sites, be sure to scroll all the way down, because many of them have at the bottom, many resources that may be overlooked initially. So again, I've really focused more on educator use because there are so many tools in there that can help you save time. Lesson hooks, helping write lesson plans. You're going to see later, but one of my things that I'm trying to instill in everyone is AI is a tool that is used by humans. We have to tell that tool what we want it to create. Lesson plans, exit tickets. The tool will create that for us, but we should never just take that and go and use it. Okay, that's what we also need to teach our students. We take it and then we personalize it. And normally when I'm using an AI tool, I'm probably using 2 or 3 at the same time. I know that you're looking forward to summer. Maybe that's an opportunity for you to try some of these tools and see which one might best fit your needs. Another support that I've shared with educators is, just as you're learning to use AI tools, our students are learning to use AI tools as well, and our parents. We have to help our students understand AI literacy. When is it appropriate to use it, and when is it not appropriate to use? I know that I use AI tools a lot, but there's also times when it's not appropriate for me. We have to have our own intelligence and cannot become dependent upon tools. Tools such as this are great for us to share with students to understand. We know they're going to use it, so we need to provide them opportunities to use it, age-based. But maybe we tell them, for this activity, you can use this to generate ideas, but for this one, this is all 100% just you. And that way we're directing them to different levels of use and appropriate use of AI. Something I think we really need to think about is, first of all, how these tools in general can support educators. They can assist with lesson planning, provide real-time feedback for student support. Many of these tools can help tutor students on the side. They can offer personalized learning and guidance. And we have to think about the future of AI in education. AI is not going to go away. It's here. It's only going to get better. Like I mentioned, you might be the AI expert in your building, even just attending one of these sessions, because you know more than other people have had the chance to learn. And I think it's really important that we know our students are going to try to use it. We have to be proactive, and we have to support student use of AI. We can't just turn it off, because students across the country and around the world are using it. And we have to help our Oklahoma students learn to be competitive, collaborative, and learn to use these tools. And there are only going to be more tools being created daily, yearly, monthly, and they're all constantly evolving. So I'm hoping that maybe as you go through the remainder of the school year and you're kind of looking for those end of the year activities with students, this might be a good time to try to implement some use with students, and or to just maybe refine your own use. Great time this summer for you to really learn to use these tools, and I think it will really lighten your load. So, the future. We don't know what the future is going to be like. And right now, students that are started in 5th grade, they're going to be graduating from high school in 8 years, graduating from college in 12. I was on vacation last week and I saw a student walking around that said class of 35. And I was like, oh my gosh, that they're wearing that already. We know they're in elementary school, but 12 years into the future, we do not know what education is going to look like. If you think 12 years ago into your past in 2013, look how much has changed. Jobs are going to change. Methods of instruction are going to change. And we just have to be future sighted to support our students. Again, something we need to know, and our students, AI is just a tool. It should be the middle part of a human AI human loop. So some AI resources for you. There are free trainings out here. The Google Generative AI for Educators is great. It's wonderful, specifically designed for educators. It's a 2-hour course. The next one, Google AI Essentials, is a 6-hour course. Normally it would cost $49, but all residents of Oklahoma, and I mean all residents, grandparents, caregivers, students, anyone who lives in Oklahoma is able to take this course for free. And that link should take you directly to the course offering. It might be a really good place that if you've got your own maybe high school students, to guide them through that process. The IBM fundamental course like goes above and beyond. So some people are like, what is the next step for me to take? Lots of resources out here also. You can click on any of them and they will take you to resources, guides, activities, and some information I'm really excited to share. I forgot to put this in here is we now have parent guides related to AI usage. They are designed to help our parents understand what AI is and help them be able to guide AI usage at home. They are grade banded. There's one for grades K through 2, another for 3 through 5, 1 through 6, 8. And because educators have asked, there's another one for grades 9 through 12. This might be something that might be good. You can send out in an email to parents. They're PDFs. I will include that information in my email tomorrow. Right now, I do have them written in English and Spanish. Those are posted on our website. They've also been translated into Vietnamese and, oh my goodness. I cannot remember. There's a large group of these language speakers in Enid, and I just have completely lost it. But I am able to translate them into other languages as well. So you let me know what you need, and I'm glad to share them. I do have one last webinar coming up, and that is in 2 weeks on April 30th. That's going to be with School AI, not to be confused with Magic School AI. And then we are starting our regional workshop planning for the fall. I will share information as we get closer, but these are 3 to 3.5 hour workshops that are in person where you're actually using and exploring. Marshallese, there we go. Yeah, somebody put that in here. Where you're actually using and exploring AI tools in an environment where you can ask questions and go further. I know that my workshops will be in Enid, Chickasha, Atoka, OKC, and Muskogee, and those dates. So if you happen to live in one of those areas and want to put that on your calendar as a hold, I would love to meet with you then. And I do have a feedback survey that I will share in an email tomorrow because I want to know what I can do. Are there other tools that you want to know about? People have said that they're ready to go to another step with using AI, and to me, that's super exciting. And I have to tell you that over 1/3 of our school districts in Oklahoma have had at least one person attend these AI trainings, either in person or virtually. And that will impact many of our learners. And we have to support each other. And I want to know what I can do to support you. So I've done a lot of talking, and I am going to stop the recording. And I don't know if there's something that you have questions about. I'm going to kind of